Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Diaz, President and Founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and this week's episode of How Do You Define Infusionsoft Success? I have Bryce Christiansen from PlusThis here with us today. Yeah, you can kind of wave and say hi, Bryce. I had reached out to David, the head guy over at PlusThis, because I thought it was like an excellent tool to cover in the program. Interestingly enough, Bryce has been doing some marketing. He'll tell us a little bit about this in a moment. And I've been looking over what he has, and it's really clear that he gets it. It's a complex tool, not so much because it's complicated, but it's just like a big tool chest. So not everyone knows that they need it until you see that one piece of it that's important to you. So I'm not gonna, rain on your parade here. But Bryce, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Bryce Christiansen. I work at PlusThis as the marketing guy. Dave used to do all that too, but being a CEO, there's a lot of hats you wear when you're working on a small software company like this. So
sure. Yeah.
He decided after doing this for two years or so that he wanted to have someone dedicated to the marketing role. And since PlusThis has grown so many different features and has so many different things they can do now, they wanted someone who could kind of go out there and work with the community, run webinars, do all the marketing stuff for them too. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using PlusThis before I even started here. About a couple months ago is when I started, but I was using PlusThis at my old job too. I was a huge fan of it, and that's kind of how I even got in touch with Dave to take on this role.
Great. Well, welcome to the team there. So you're there. You're telling me in September is when you started, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess just tell me. So what's been your biggest challenges since you started there?
Oh God, trying to hold back my excitement. I guess there's so much we can do at PlusThis that there's just so many opportunities that I can go forward with. So some of the things that we're working on coming up for all the people who are just interested in what PlusThis has in the pipelines, we're making a whole new website. So it'll make it easier for you to find everything you're looking for, get the training you're looking for, house all our videos, all our how-to guides, and things like that. So that's going to be really exciting. We're working on new features. The developers over here at PlusThis had to kind of do some of the website stuff on top of just making better features and improving them and adding new ones. So now that I can kind of take that over, they'll be able to focus more on the development, which will be awesome. Right. So, but biggest challenge is, yeah, it's probably trying to find out what the priorities are and being able to systematize some of the marketing so that even though we have me to be able to run it, being a one-man marketing team isn't always the easiest thing either, and you want to be able to leverage as much as you can your different marketing opportunities.
Sure. So I saw this, it was last week that you started sending out these flyers, and as a PlusThis user, and I've used it for many of our clients, I've used it for myself a bit. We've used it for GoToMedium integration, for summing dates. We've used it for creating dates that are human readable. And really that was most of what we used it for. And when I saw your agenda here, it's a webinar. If you want ideas on how to increase conversions, you want to increase your knowledge of PlusThis, you use one or two PlusThis features, so that's me. Mm-hmm. And you want to know what else is in there. So what do you kind of cover?
Yeah, so I'm going to be covering 16 different PlusThis features. You're exactly right.
And is that the whole library? Is it 16 or is there more?
There's more than that, but I'm going to cover the 16 most popular, most used features. Probably the ones that I would recommend if anyone was getting started. These are the ones I would do first. And then there's a lot of smaller ones like what you've seen with math, where if you want to have some way to add up form fields and make a number in your contact record. Little tiny things that you don't really use that often and might be good in certain situations but don't apply to everyone. So I'm going to cover the ones that apply to most people and have the biggest impact on your business.
Yeah, I tell you what, because I was preparing for this, I actually went into my PlusThis account and I looked, what else is in here? And I didn't realize that there were features for tagging how long someone had been inside of a video. I mean, that was one thing. There were just a couple of other ones, split testing, Some real interesting things there. And I guess what's difficult as a developer or as an Infusionsoft user is when would PlusThis be the one thing I need to do? And then you're kind of thinking, okay, is that worth the monthly price, right? I guess that's the challenge you're up against.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the challenge. So what I've tried to do here with PlusThis when I'm talking with our team here is to make sure that every feature we make is basically a good value for the monthly fee. So what I mean is even if you just come into PlusThis for the GoToWebinar integration, the monthly fee will make up for it because of all the great things we pack in with just that one feature. But if you end up being a power user and you like PlusThis and you go, okay, I've started with GoToWebinar integration, now I want to also do some video triggers so that I can track who's watching my videos, and based on how long they're watching them, have Infusionsoft send different kinds of sequences. Or you might even add a different one like Facebook audience triggers where you can automate your Facebook ads with your Infusionsoft campaigns. So all those different features alone.
I didn't even know that one existed.
Yeah, so we're trying to make sure that any features that we make will be a good value even if it's the one or two features you use like what you're saying. But if you add up using all the different kind of features that we do have available, you're getting a great steal basically.
Yeah,
but it is definitely a challenge.
We're not doing as many, but we used to do a lot of webinar integration, both for ourselves and for clients. And so we had at one point built our own like mini integration between the two. And when I saw that it was in GoToMeeting, it's like, oh, that's just too much work. Let's just suck it up and do it.
No, totally. So yeah, and kind of like what you were saying earlier too about like what we're going to be covering on this webinar. Probably if I could say what the most popular features are that people do come to when they realize, okay, we need PlusThis for this specific feature. It's the video triggers like I mentioned before. Facebook audience triggers is another one. The GoToWebinar integration. And then probably the next one after that would be our evergreen timed offers. So that's where we make it so like if you have at the end of a webinar you want to do a special promotion where for the next 3 days they can go ahead and buy your services with a special bonus or whatever, you can make that available. But you can also do this with the regular campaign that you have going on all the time. And that timed offer is unique to the individual in your campaign. So if I put up a campaign, for example, at my old job we used this for our personality assessments for your career, for example. We put them through these videos to help train them on it and like tell them, okay, here's how you kind of understand what your personality is in a job field. Right. And then here are all the, if you want to buy the offer, it's like an assessment that will help find what your personality is and what the jobs are that fit with it. But we made it like a discounted price where we bundle in some extra stuff only for the next 3 days after they finish that training.
Okay.
But the problem with that, a lot of times what businesses find is that if you run some kind of timed offer, it's really messy and it's really difficult because if you, George, were to come to that campaign, in 3 days you finish the training and then your offer would start, right? But what would happen if I joined that same training 2 days later? Normally you have to reset all the dates and it's just a huge mess, or you have to run it as just one big event and then close it all at the same time. So the evergreen timed offers allow you to just dynamically put it into Infusionsoft and it just automatically gives them a timed offer based on when they came in that campaign, and it does all the closing the cart and everything else for you. So that's a really big feature that people love too.
So what does it do? It manipulates the shopping cart?
Yeah, so the way it kind of works is PlusThis will give you a link. When you go into PlusThis, you basically tell PlusThis, okay, what's the URL you want to send them to when the offer is live?
Oh, okay.
So you put in that URL, and then what's the URL you want to send them to when the offer is closed now, right? So you put in that one, and then PlusThis makes its own link that you can put into Infusionsoft.
Oh, gotcha.
And then PlusThis will track based on like the tag that you associate with it, if that offer is closed for that individual or not. So after a certain amount of time, maybe it's 3 days or whatever, you have to tag that contact as offer expired. And then Infusionsoft or PlusThis looks at that link now and it goes, okay, this contact has that tag that says it's expired, so I'm going to send them to the other link instead of the one that says it's open. So it automates it all, which is great.
Yeah, and again, what you're describing is doable inside of campaigns, but when I'm thinking about everything I have to do, I mean, it's a lot of work.
Totally. This is way easier.
Right, right. Now, let me ask you, I'm sure this discussion has happened inside of PlusThis. Is Infusionsoft going to replace the PlusThis features, with their own function? I mean, I'm thinking of the summing feature. It's like, why isn't that in the product?
Yeah, seriously. No, as any kind of developer wonders, and we were recently at that PartnerCon where a lot of developers were at, this kind of question always comes up, right? Like, we need to have this communication with Infusionsoft to know if we're building something that's going to be obsolete in a couple of months because you guys just replaced it for us, right? So one of our strategies and what's made PlusThis successful is that we don't lump our eggs all in one basket, right? We have a GoToWebinar integration, we have Facebook integrations, we have these evergreen campaigns that we set up, video triggers, we have all these little functionalities, maths and humanized dates and all these other things so that even if Infusionsoft were to eventually put in their own humanized date feature, it wouldn't kill PlusThis off the face of the earth,
So you're just spread out.
And we are definitely, and we're definitely in talks with Infusionsoft. We're great partners with them. And and they've committed to a lot of their developers also to be a little bit more transparent about these kinds of things. So I'm sure there's great communication between both companies and nothing that would be too disastrous either way. But I could see how a lot of developers could have that fear. You're right.
So let me ask you, you were saying that now the developers have more time to develop because they've got you doing some of the things that they were doing. Are there things that are coming up that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think the next big thing that's coming up is a revamp of PlusThis overall. Like, it's going to be called PlusThis 2.0. It's just a lot of like user interactions, and it's going to simplify a lot of things to make it easier for the user experience. Basically, it's going to make the shopping cart and all the back end stuff work a lot better too.
But is it going to be? Are you going to be adding more than the 16?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to be adding more than that too. We have goals to add new features every couple of months, so, and that will probably ramp up as soon as we're done with the next version of PlusThis as well.
Oh, interesting. So anything else you can share with us?
No, but if anyone's interested in learning more about PlusThis, that webinar we have is going on this week, Thursday at noon Pacific, and I'm sure maybe I can send George a link if they want to find the registration page for that. Otherwise, you can just check out our website, PlusThis.com, and we have lots of great idea guides if you're just curious what PlusThis does and how it can help you with Infusionsoft and do more with it, basically. That's probably the best resource to check out, yeah.
Great. Well, hey, thank you so much. Are there going to be more of these webinars? Is that something you plan on having more of?
Yeah, every month I'm planning to do at least one webinar. And a lot of times I'm doing multiple webinars with other partners, Infusionsoft ICPs, or even with Infusionsoft themselves. So I'll be doing one in January as well. So I'm always looking for opportunities to keep training people on the tools that are out there, the latest strategies. I guess that's one other cool thing. If you know PlusThis' story, it basically came out of 6th Division from all the work that we've done with a lot of the top Infusionsoft users out there that come to 6th Division, say, hey, I'm having this challenge with Infusionsoft. It doesn't have any integration with GoToWebinar, for example. Could you guys make it? And we made it, and then we made video triggers. We made all these other applications, and we have a product. We should just make this PlusThis and make it a product, and that's how PlusThis was born. Now it's its own company and everything. But
oh, gotcha.
But yeah, so
was
we're always
David
looking
was part of the 6th Division before?
Oh, totally. He's a co-founder. Uh-huh.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I saw his email. I figured he had some association, but I wasn't sure how far back that went.
Yeah, exactly. So we're always bumping heads with the great Infusionsoft users out there and hearing straight from the field what new tactics or strategies they're using that are really successful, or helping them build those strategies and then implementing those over to PlusThis. So we'll always be keeping updated with new trainings on those kinds of things too.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining. I know you're a busy guy, especially with the new job, but thank you for sharing this with us, and we'll be sure to post the links on the video blog when we get this out there, and so everybody knows more about this.
Awesome. Appreciate it.